Welcome to this week's edition of Ambitious, Awakened, and Aligned. We welcome the incredible entrepreneur Liana Louzon is the founder of Rocking Vibe, a brand that has been built on the belief that what you wear should be a reflection of your energy, ambition, and individuality. I have been following Leanna for well over a decade now, watching her business and her story evolve and expand. She has a background in photography and a deep appreciation for aesthetics. She has spent years exploring how personal style and intention intersect. Her approach to jewelry isn't about trends. It's about creating pieces that hold meaning, spark confidence, and remind you of your own limitless potential. I am so honored to have Leanna here and to dive into uh, just a beautiful, expansive conversation with her about her business and, more importantly, about her influence and perspectives. So here we go. Here is the amazing and dynamic Leanna. I'm so thrilled to have you here today. And I do just want to say your background. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Oh, well, I'm Liana. I'm the founder of Rocking By. It is an expression of myself. It's what I want to leave to the world. That's basically my mission. I'm a mom of three kids, and I've always been a creative person. And when I became a mom, I wanted to find a way where I can use my creativity to empower the community. So I launched this brand called Rockin' Vibe. It's a contemporary crystal jewelry brand, basically aesthetically refined, more elevated take on your typical crystal jewelry. Because for me, I've always had this undeniable pull towards crystals and earth and anything that's has that vibrating energy that's part of our source, be it wild water, trees, plants, earth, crystals. So I always tried to wear a crystal. I always was that kid that collected rocks. And I felt that there was a disconnect in the world because anytime you'd need to wear the crystal jewelry, it never fed the vibe. Because when you need to be connected, to be grounded, to be empowered, are always the moments where you also need to show up aesthetically refined. And that was just a missing link in the crystal world because all crystal jewelry was very bohemian. It was kind of cheaply made. It turned like the metal they used. It was never quality or slow fashion. It broke the next day. It left my skin black. So I decided to create something for myself first. The piece of crystal jewelry that made elevated my style, my look, that I felt confident and comfortable in. And then this whole brand evolved.
It's
Yeah.
so powerful. The moment that I was introduced to your jewelry, which is well over a decade ago, it was an essence for me. That first piece that I purchased,
Bangle.
which was that and okay, let's go into this. So for our listeners, I'm going to allow Leanna to paint a picture for you, but for those that get to visually see what we're doing, every piece of jewelry is handcrafted beautifully and also delivered in this stunning we have like light flying around
I know
us.
I'm
Leanna and I are in the light show right now. She's got these, like, beautiful rainbows showing up on her face, and for me, I have this, like, lightning bolt striking me right there we go. So
Oh,
beautiful.
look, there's a rainbow on it.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Whatever's happening with light and the crystals right now. So, can you tell us the inspiration even of this? Because the the intentionality of your brand, and I'm speaking to every person listening, we create a product, we create a service. Do you take the time to pause and recognize that every touch point, every moment of interaction is an opportunity to influence and ignite something unique inside of people? So, can you walk us through this magical moment? That's how I felt the first time your jewelry was delivered to me. It was like a magical moment. So, walk us through this.
I'm so happy that that's the way it's received. This is truly an extension of my upbringing and my knowledge and what it was the catalyst. Like it was a seed in me. A pyramid was a seed in me in my childhood that has had such a profound effect. So when I became a mom, I wanted to do that for my children. And basically, when I was raised by my grandmother, and she was a very wise, kind woman, and she bestowed so many lessons on me. And one day, she gifted me a pyramid. We lived in the USSR between Russia and Uzbekistan, and she gifted me a pyramid. And she said, "Honey, this is a magical pyramid. What we're gonna do is we're gonna write down your wishes." She didn't say goals; she said your wishes, and whatever you want, you take your pen, your paper, write it down, and you put it in here. And this is a magical pyramid. Once it's in there, it's gonna come true. And I was 8 and I believed in magic and I believed in everything that my grandma kind of taught me. So I did that. And sure enough, things started coming true. Little did I know the science behind writing down your goals. And I think that moment has anchored something so deep in me, that concrete knowledge, that unwavering belief that everything I desire in life is within my reach. I just have to get clear on it.
Mm.
And I've used that to achieve so many things in my life. Before I moved to Canada when I was 14 and we moved with a single suitcase. It was an overnight move. I was basically told, whatever you can fit in the suitcase, that's your new life, honey. You go and you make the most of us. So we came to Canada. I didn't know the language. I didn't have any friends. The food, everything was new. So I embraced every opportunity. I set some goals for myself, some wishes. I wished for things to happen. And then without realizing it, I worked for them. Because once you know what you want, of course you're going to take steps. So this is an intention pyramid.
Mhm.
This is a tool for you to write down, to get concrete on your goals, to get concrete on what your heart desires. And then just make that commitment to yourself. When you write down your goals, you're 41% more likely to, like, you're 41% there to achieving your goal. Because clarity is so important. When somebody asks you, what do you want to do? And if you can't say it in a sentence, you're not there yet. You do not have the end point yet. But once you have the end point, it's so easy to connect the dots. Yes, it can go this way and this way and this way and backwards and whatever, but you're still always, you have your eye on that end point, and that's in the pyramid. And my idea is what I did when I was a child, I put this somewhere where I could see every day.
Mhm.
It was in my eyesight. I didn't go up to it, open it, and read it. I didn't need to do that because we have this thing called subconsciousness
Mhm.
that knows. Every time I walked by, I was like, "Oh, that's what I want in life. Oh yeah, that's what I want that." And every time it'd be stronger, stronger. It's a constant drip
Mm.
until I was like taking action, making it happen. And then before I know it, I would replace the goals and I would replace, and then it became a muscle. It developed so well that now, and there's so much science behind it. But for me, like still believing in that magic in your own ability to create the life that you desire,
Mm.
to make the most out of our time here, and that we have power, we have control over this. And it all starts with just the clarity, just that one written note of paper, knowing what you want to do. I mean, the pyramids are mystical, they're magical, there's so much we can't explain about them. I wanted to create something so beautiful. One of my taglines in my office, there's a little frame, and I have it written down. I'm going to make everything around me beautiful. That will be my life. So when I create, my goal is to elevate, to make something so beautiful that you want to bring it into your space. Like when I designed this pyramid, I put so much thought into it. I was like, but I don't, first of all, I'm conscious of the environment and the earth. I didn't want my packaging to just be like something high end, luxurious, and then discard it,
Mhm.
right? And I wanted people to keep it. I wanted them to serve it. And when we're dealing with crystals, these magical, powerful forces that have the energies of centuries of wisdom of our ancestors, I needed it to be a full connection. So I dreamed up of this. I made it happen. And so every piece that you receive comes in these pyramids, which is your tool. A tool, just like the jewelry, is intimate, powerful, personal, for you to go for it, girl, for you to define your dreams and then take that first step, take the second step, take the final step, and then elevate your dream to the next level.
It's so amazing, and I love seeing Leanna at events because you collaborated with us on our Wake the F Up
I
Fest
did.
and brought the pyramids, so these are magnetic. and then open up and you have the opportunity. Not only is your crystal and your jewelry in there with the story, you also have the opportunity to write your own intention, as you just said. So we did that at the festival with all of our beautiful women that were there, and you continue to do that. I've seen you at other events. You're about to go to One of a Kind show, which is incredible. And
By the way, that goal, that one of a kind show, one
in
day,
the
it was
intention.
a wish in this pyramid.
So good. So you said you hope that people keep these along with them. I will say, and Leanna and I had never met actually live until this year. We've never had a conversation till the past year. And yet it was a decade ago that I purchased my first piece of jewelry from you. And this pyramid sat on my desk, continues to sit on my shelf in my office. And that vibration is real. And then as you described, the amplification of that beautiful piece that you've chosen also, now when I put it on, it's got the power of the intention
It's
inside
in
of it.
it's an invisible link because then when you put this jewelry on, you know where it came from and you know what that vessel is now holding. So as I always say put your jewelry on while you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Make it an act of love. Choose it intentionally. Don't just put something mass produced. Don't just put something, that you think is trendy because you think you're gonna fit into this define today's like current trend status.
Mm,
Pick your jewelry based on what elevates your personal, what you feel like if nobody cared what looks good. And when you put your jewelry on, you look yourself in the mirror. You make it intimate. You put it on with love. You adorn yourself with intention. You remember what's in that pyramid. And you step out that door with so much confidence in yourself, in your power, and the ability to contribute to our earth,
mhm.
right? In the
I
most authentic way.
In the most authentic way. I love how you share that your brand encourages people to wear their energy. So
Mhm.
you've been expanding on that with us, but just dive into that a little bit further about how that energy and self-expression was so important to you.
Well, we are all one of a kind. So I look at us as individuals like cells of an organism. Like, for example, our body, we have billions of cells, and our heart cell pumps blood. Our eye cells provide visions. Everything is communicated. Everything is so intricate. Like you cannot recreate this. Like we are a marvel, right? But when I look at the earth, my mentality is I look at it the same way. What I am meant to do here is not the same as you're meant to do here or a lawyer is meant to do here. We're all individual and our energies are required to be authentic in order to matter. If my heart cell tried to do the job of my kidney cell, I could not be here, right? Everybody has a job, everybody has a purpose, their own individual purpose, and we can't compare like apples to oranges, our individuality. And I think the way the crystals can make you feel your own energy because crystals are part and earth and anything like that produce we're part of the whole organism, right? And there's a certain level of frequency that's optimal for us. But
Mhm,
throughout the day as we go and get separated from our source, we're in concrete jungles, fluorescent lighting, wi-fi fields with maybe people who are negative, everything, our frequency is constantly shifting, but we're trying to maintain that equilibrium. And what I felt whenever I would touch a tree, whenever I would put my feet in the wild water, whenever I would wear that crystal, like even a little piece of crystal, sometimes when I hold it, I feel the
mhm,
calibration happening within my whole body. And you know that the way the energy works is it travels. It's the synapses, right? I actually have a science degree. So for me, like I really look into how do I explain it in the most rational way that's not like woo, that's not, that a person can understand. The way it's a domino effect, energy is contagious.
mhm,
So when you touch a crystal and this cell right here is all of a sudden grounded into that perfect frequency, and then travels, it then travels, it then travels, and then your whole body trickles into the optimal state.
mm,
And that energy is yours. Okay. If you compare your field to my field, I mean, energy is undeniable. You feel it sometimes with people. You choose your friends based on energies, not because of what they do, right? We don't go around looking at our friends saying, oh, you're really pretty. I could use you in my pictures. Oh, you're really smart. You could really help me guide along some of my decisions or whatnot. Oh, you have a kid that's the same age as mine. So let's be friends because our kids are friends. No, we choose like the way our best friends are brought into our lives is unexplainable. It's based on like when you are around them, you are better, you feel good, and then you keep them around. And that's how we collect that circle of like our true friends, right? Because they serve a purpose. It's the energy. And that's how my mentality of energy and how my I will say obsession, but it's not an obsession. It's this need to be
Mhm,
connected to the earth at all times when I feel that I am taken away from my optimal state.
mhm.
And you know what? Like I do find that wearing a crystal is powerful enough to trigger me back into feeling grounded and myself and take away the noise.
It's that awareness piece though. Like as you're describing that experience, I'm also hearing that awareness of back to the intentionality of grounding into that crystal,
Mhm.
which allows you to feel the embodiment of that. So when I think about leadership, I know that I've heard you say this sort of energetic integrity, and
Yes, I
we're
love
almost, there's almost how we look at fashion or how we look at how we dress in the day and how we look at what jewelry we put on. We've been taught that from a very really just visual perspective versus energy perspective. So, like, how do you help someone get to that awareness piece of that energetic integrity of how that can just amplify someone and how you experience them?
energetic integrity is so powerful because we are bombarded with societal standards that are defined maybe by somebody who's that current outfit or that current trend is their own energetic integrity. But what happens is they kind of blanket it down onto everybody, right? And you'll see in fashion now where people are leaning more towards slow fashion rather than going to trends. They'll come up, they'll invest in the piece that will serve that's truly makes them feel good with whether it's a staple or funky piece that they pull out once or twice a year for 10 years, like going forward. That becomes their power piece. And what that those power pieces, whether it's jewelry, whether it's fashion, whether it's any accessory, what it does is it helps you stand in your own authentic integrity rather than picking up something trendy, like let's say that you see like it you feel that you're gonna fit in,
Mhm,
right? And when you look at really people that are the leaders in our community, a lot of the times you'll see them being so authentic to themselves and so bold, and you're saying to yourself, "Well, I could never pull that off." Like she's so individualized, and you're right because the reason why you can't pull that off is because they are in their energetic integrity, and it's not meant for you. Whereas if you see other people who are all wearing the similar stuff, you can pull that off because that's like um a persona that you're stepping into, like a trend that you're stepping into. So I think it is so cool to discover those pieces. Like if you go back to your closet and if you like look at what you have and pick out the pieces that it's like if everything burned down, this is the piece I will take. This is the piece of clothing I'm going to keep. Oftentimes, it's going to be something that you've connected more energy to because it's somebody gifted to you. It was a reward that you bought yourself because of something happened, or it could be a piece from your mom, or
mhm.
there's many reasons. But those are the pieces that you will walk away from the fire that you would pack in that single suitcase. And actually, I just had like as a light bulb moment. I think the reason why I understand that energetic integrity is because when I was 14 years old, I was asked to do that. I was asked to pack that suitcase and to pick the things I wanted to keep and leave everything. I had to shed that. I had to experience that and live through that with concrete consequences where that piece that I chose is the piece that's coming to me. It's going to be how I show up in this world because we don't show up naked. Those clothes that I picked in that suitcase were the clothes I was going to present myself in this new environment. So I think I practice that. I just connected the dots.
That brought tears to my eyes. Actually, that made me really emotional. Uh,
Right?
Beautiful
So I
moment.
practice that, and now I understand how powerful that is. To have a piece that you wear, a piece of clothing, to be so part of you that you don't feel like you're pretending. You don't feel like you belong just to yourself. You don't need to explain. You don't need to tell somebody, "Oh, like and it is your comfort level that's going to have others look at you and be like, "Wow, I could never pull that off. Oh, that's really cool." Like vintage shopping right now is so in. You go in and you like find these finds and Second Life or whatever it is, like it's energy. But if you have the right energy adorning you, if you're authentic in your own expression, then you are so much more powerful because you are you. You're not
You are
pretending,
you.
right?
Are
Like,
you.
and
It's
that's what we
so
need. You are the heart cell or the eye cell or whatever it is that you're meant to be, right? You're not pretending to be like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
it's so beautiful. I was thinking as you were talking about that suitcase experience, and that really did make me tear up, was, we have this my grandparents owned actually a store where they had millinery and they made the hats and they brought in all these beautiful furs at the time. So generations ago and they actually were in competition with Eaton's and then their flagship stores burnt down. And so, I did not experience that growing up. We still have a couple of pieces from that generation, from when they were building that and creating that, and one of the pieces is this stunning full-length coat, and I don't keep things. I keep what feels energetically aligned. I just did a closet cleanse and a lot. If I grab it and I don't feel that connection anymore, as you just spoke about, then I'm happy to release it and hope that it will find its way to someone that it will. And so, but I kept this piece and it hasn't fit me for decades. And recently I pulled it out and I asked my daughter, who's 28 years old, would she be interested in this? And she wears it and she vibrates. She is magnetic in this coat. And I see all the generations, all the ancestral connections in such a powerful way. And I can't, it's unexplainable. But I
I know it's hard. Sometimes energy is hard to put into words, right?
and she feels it. She's like, "Mom, when I put this on, I can't even explain it." So just to expand on everything that you're saying and find those examples for yourself. It's
Yeah.
that self-expression, as you said, but there's this element that I've heard you talk about before where it's also self-respect. So give us a lens into how do you align that with being a piece of self-respect too?
Well, your value, your self-worth
Mhm.
is often in our society defined by our achievements,
Mhm.
right? It's what we've accomplished, what we're going to do, what we show to the world. And I think that's a little bit like that's improper because your value is to the world is what you believe, right? It's what it's personal and it's unique to you. So into comparing and to assign yourself respect to the awards you've won or things you've achieved, a lot of the times we are competing for like I work so hard, and there's these measuring stick of success
Mm.
sometimes that's not that's again that blanket approach, right? That, and then we form our self-respect based on that. Whereas if we define our own measuring stick of success, for example, for me, before I had my kids, I was a photographer, and I
Mhm.
had massive major goals in mind. I was a fitness photographer. I have a science degree in kinesiology. I worked as a clinical educator for a little bit, until I discovered photography, and then I used my science degree in photography.
Mm.
I ended up shooting for Reebok Canada, Lululemon Canada, Good Life, tons of athletes, sports magazines. That was my thing because I used my degree and my creativity. And that's how like I weaved it all together. My interest for like science and human physiology with then the art of expressing the intensity of the fitness athletes, and just like the sports
Mhm.
it through my camera. And I achieved all those goals. And my measuring stick for success authentically was working with those companies. I remember saying, I want to work with Lululemon because they don't edit their images. They use real people. They're the first ones that use real ambassadors. Whereas the fitness industry at that time, they would bring models in, they would tan them, they would spray them. We would find the right angles to make sure the abs were chiseled, the makeup, the hair, the fan. It was like a production. And I was like, but Lululemon, they just look for people in the community that are doing real. And and I was like, I want to work with them. And my measuring stick for success was achieving that. But when I became a mom, like everything changed. And my measuring stick for success was, am I present enough? Am I able to create a life where I am, so if I as you evolve and your self-respect, your stages of life change, be open to evolution of like changing your goals, your state, your ability to respect yourself based on what stage you're in right now.
That's so powerful, Leanna, because we do evolve and change and expand, and something is available to us in each of those expansions if we step into it. And back to we have that awareness, right? So, you know, I know that we see a lot of disconnection right now. And so when we have the opportunity to connect with a brand like yours or your story about Lululemon, it's so important to pause and just recognize that connection and recognize the energy of that. And so I'm seeing a lot of disconnection though. So what would you say to someone of they're listening, they're having the aha moment.
Mhm.
What's that first step towards really understanding a new version of themselves that becomes connected?
I My opinion, what works for me is earth and nature.
Yes.
I'm alone. Get out of the noise.
Mhm.
Get on the fresh air, stand by the water, hold the tree, deep breaths. Allow yourself to be with yourself and see what comes up. Because it is when we are with people, environment, in our daily life, we are living in the made up world to a certain degree. A lot of synthetic, a lot of things that are built, like the chairs, the cars, right? So that noise sometimes it makes it hard to go in. And the only way for you to remove the disconnect is to allow yourself moments with yourself in that quiet and surrounded by the authentic energy we are come from and go into, come from, and that's a cycle. Um, I can't explain to you, like, even try this. Like, if you're sitting in office, open the window and feel the fresh air come in. And with that single breath, if you are paying attention, you will feel the shift. It may not be like, whoa, like, I just did an ice bath type of thing, but you will feel it. Get into the sunlight, close your eyes, let the sun bathe you, take a deep breath, and you will start to discover, and everyone will be different, but discover what helps you be quiet with yourself.
Mhm.
You want to connect, give yourself an opportunity to.
Mhm.
It's kind of like anything you do in life. They say it takes 10,000. I'm gonna butcher this, but in a sport, there's a saying: it takes this many hours and this many years to achieve potential in this sport, right? And I
Yes,
always
the 10,000 hours theory, you had it right. Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, no. So right, and to achieve connection, it's the same thing. It has to be a daily practice. You have to invest into that. If you truly want to get out of the life what you're meant to do, to get to know that, to experience that, it has to be a consistent approach to that. You have to consistently give yourself time to work on that, to bring that out, to pull that out of you, to discover that, discovering it, right? Because it's not like clear again, because we're not really allowed to do that in our daily life. We have to provide, we have to do dishes, we have to but like carve out those moments, guys. Like make it a priority. This is why there's like even those apps that are meditative apps that exist, what like that you do every day, and they do help because it's an investment in yourself. But if you do that outside in nature, for me, this is how I achieve it. Like, and I can't say that it's gonna work for everybody, but like, come on, guys, earth, nature, whatever it is, plants, they all have that wisdom. They all help us uncover our wisdom, because you know what? We're stripped of the noise. So
Mhm.
give yourself times, give yourself opportunities throughout the day, throughout the week, whatever it is that you feel will be optimal for you. Discover your own formula, but do it connected to nature, removed from distractions of the current societal development.
Mhm. So powerful. So powerful.
What else I'm gonna tell you?
Mm.
When people come back from the vacations, when we book vacations, everybody comes back with a new glow.
Mhm.
You're like, "Oh, you've rested from work," but that's not what happened. What happened is they were introduced back into the nature, because a lot of the times on vacation, you go to the wild, salty water.
Yes.
The feet in the sand, that grounding.
Mhm.
So you spend hours a day in that environment, you are healed. You are rebuilt. You are rejuvenated, right? It's kind of like having a full meal.
Mhm.
Feed your body meals, well, you need to feed your energy, recharge it with whatever source it is. And I keep saying wild water, hugging trees, plants, earth, playing in earth, like, whatever else, like fresh air, stars, moonlight, sunlight, all of it.
All of
Anytime
it.
you're outside, all of it, right? Pets.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was just at the ocean last week for 3 days, feet in the sand, water washing over my feet, and you can feel that expansiveness. It's
And
just
then you feel more powerful, like, it's
oh,
so crazy. You just feel like, "Okay, I can do this. I got this. What am I waiting for?"
yeah.
Right? Because when you're sitting, like, in the concrete jungle, I keep saying that, it's like it's kind of like, I think I want I think I can do it." And then you go out in the wild water and you, like, stand at the moon and the sun, and you just take a deep breath and you're like, "Oh my god, I have the power of the universe inside of me." You feel it, right?
Feel it.
Yeah.
Hey, as your vibration is amplifying, which is so incredible, just speaking about nature brings up the vibration. So I was thinking about because we on this podcast we talk to high achieving women, we talk to leaders, and so one of the things that I feel is a bit of a disconnect again is we've been taught how to dress for confidence. That would come up a lot, sort of like, how do you dress for confidence? You hear that for women. And yet, as I'm listening to you speak, really, it should be about connection and influence. How do you become magnetic so that you have those deeper connections and that people are really you become a magnet? What is that shift that we can take to move out of the belief it's about confidence and more into the understanding that it's about connection?
It's inside work.
Inside
It's
work.
looking for outside things
Mhm.
to help, like, to provide the energy you're looking for to display what you are, rather than looking for things that help bring that out of you,
Yes.
right? So a very expensive Prada jacket, for example, right? You
Mhm.
put it on and you feel like, "Oh, it's a status symbol. People will see me, people will know I've earned this. People, I don't know," or like, or you feel like you've made this. So like, I think I am powerful because I am confident. I'm not confident. I am capable of affording this. I'm wearing this. This is so acceptable, right? And instead, like, that same Prada jacket could be a different um could give you a different energy, rather than saying that this is the Prada jacket that people will see and think of me. If it actually truly brings out you in that, if you step into that jacket and you feel like this is your cape and you feel like you can step into your own power better, that's when the energy truly resonates. Not when you mask it, but when a piece of clothing or something in your fashion doesn't mask who you are to showcase something more than what you believe you are, but
Mhm.
amplifies your own energy. So look for those pieces that they're not just like, "Okay, I think I can pull this off. People will see me this way." Instead, look for, when I put this on, I feel it.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm stronger. I feel like that's whole, like, cape. Like, have your items that are your superhero capes.
Oh,
Like,
love
when you put
that.
them on, they're like, "Okay, like, it's me. It's me that this is bringing out,"
Mm.
not like covering up and pretending to be something.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Okay, we love to ask everybody on the podcast, what does ambitious awakened, and aligned mean to you?
Ambitious is being brave enough to go for things that you truly desire. Ambition comes from knowing your goals and then achieving them. And I think it's different for everybody. It could be that you want to be the best mom. It could be that you could be the best gardener. It could be that you want to be the president. Or you could be the but like ambition. I think you feed ambition with authentic drive,
Mhm.
and then that's how you achieve happiness. And the second one,
Awakened?
awakened, again, discovering and uncovering everything that's inside, everything that comes helps you come to life. Like, wake up to, like, what's making your heart beat, what's making your heart skip a beat, what's making you like, "Ooh," right? Like, uncover that. Don't just settle for, like, what's the norm is acceptable or what you're comfortable in. Awaken.
And aligned. And
And
aligned.
aligned. I think they're all kind of like into this is a braid. These 3 questions, these 3 words are a braid, and you have to weave them together. So aligned is, again, getting to that frequency that you're optimal at. Find that frequency that you thrive at, and we're all different. Like, I'm gonna make another example, like for the plants. You'll know some plants need more sunlight, some plants need more water, some plants need more heat. Right? You can't have a blanket approach for all the plants and have them all thrive. Like even the flowers, they burst at the so what is it that aligned is find your own frequency. Find the people, the activities, the clothes, the feelings, the moments. Fill yourself with those moments to align yourself to your optimal frequency because when you like even sports science, again, I keep going back to sports science, right? Um, optimize your energy. Find ways that optimize your energy. Hugs. Oh my gosh, hugging the right people. Same thing, that domino effect, right? You hug heart to heart. You connect with the right people. You hug the right people. You optimize,
Mhm.
right? Get take the toxic people out of you. Bring the right people into you. All of that consistently review, reinvent, discover, awaken, uncover, be authentic, like all of that. Weave the braid. Weave it.
So good. Your mantra is, "I am more than meets the eye. The power of the universe resides within me." How has this guided your journey, and how can listeners actually embody this for themselves?
Okay, so this is something that my grandma taught me in Russian, and she was teaching me how to do mantra, and she was trying to tell me that, and like again, same lesson. And I go up to the river. I go anytime I'm outside, anytime the sun is shining, I'll close my eyes, I'll pull my car over if I'm driving, I'll open the window, I'll let the sun beam right into me, and I'll say those things out loud. I am more than meets the eye. The power of the universe resides within me. And it's such a powerful shift to me because power of the universe does resides within all of us. We are the same energetic outcome that the trees, the mountains, the stars, we're all that. So just knowing that, it gives you the ability to go for it. I think a lot of the times it's the doubt that prevents people and the disbelief on the fact that the power of the universe resides within it. So this has been such a powerful mantra. I've never shared it actually until this year.
Mm.
It has guided me since I was a little girl, and it has been I've guarded it. I actually,
Mm.
I had this mentality and like, "No, this is my mantra."
Mhm.
I never shared it, and now I share it openly
Mhm.
because I'm like,
'Cause
"But it helped me." Like, again, like, like, we're all pieces of work, like, we all work on ourselves, and I remember, like, realizing that, like, "Why am I guarding this mantra that's been so powerful?" Like, because it was, like, my grandma's thing, like, it was, like, something, like, very dear to me, and actually, the empowerment I felt when I did share it and started sharing that has been the next level because 'cause I'm like, now not only I'm also, like, helping others learn from my not mistakes, I guess, but my lessons, and I think that's so important because, like, again, trickle down effect. If 1 of 2 or listeners here try that mantra and it works for them, yes, this podcast is worth it.
And it's also amplifying it for you because the universe is always working, we're someone, we're some of the one, we're all in this together, and
Yeah.
it's actually then sending that energy back to you, I believe, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Would you
Because, like,
say
if
for
every cell just one more thing, because if every cell is optimal, like, remember back to the organism and how we all have, like, our thing. If every cell is functioning properly, we have a healthy Earth. We have a healthy, universe, right? So the more people get on that, the yeah, the more I thrive.
would you say it for us in Russian?
I actually don't remember how to say it
Wow,
in Russian. Yeah,
really?
because 'cause I've only been saying it in English for so long.
So long.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
yeah.
That's
It's like,
amazing.
I think since 14, I've always I translated it once, and I kind of like that has been my mantra. I never say it in Russian.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. The power of growth and transformation. Okay, so how do we connect with you?
Well, I am the janitor and the CEO of the Rock and Vibe. So if you email me, I will get it. If you tag me on Instagram, and that's where I hang out daily. Instagram is where I hang out daily at Rocking Vibe.
Mhm.
I will be the one you're interacting with. Yeah.
And you're the designer and the
I do everything.
creator.
I design, I create, source, I handpick every crystal. And I know earlier on, I don't know if you guys can see it still. Um, this is my workstation here.
Mm.
And when it's sunny, there's a cast of rainbow. So I make jewelry when the rainbow is shining.
Oh, and your whole face and shirt are rainbow right now. That's so
Yeah. I,
incredible.
I catch the rainbows and I catch and I handpick every crystal. Like my tools are right here. I'm actually going to be making like everything for the one of a kind show. So I hand pick every crystal and I kind of just set the and when an order comes in, I'll print out the order and I'll be like this one.
Mm,
And I just like it's free like there's no like no like forced intention like okay, I don't sit down like okay, what would you want? I don't. I just kind of like this one.
mm. You
You know
follow.
what I mean? Yeah.
The one thing that I've come to understand about crystals, which I didn't know for a long time, is because of their energetic power, they also can take on others' energies, the energies of where they come from.
There we
And
go.
so there's a just like us. So there's a lot of unknown intentionality behind crystals. So I love that you shared that. And I think it's really important for people to feel into their crystals, to set intentions with them. That is how they vibrate out and they continue to work with you and for you. They're so
Yeah.
powerful. This has been such an incredible conversation, of course. All of the intentionality and vibration and frequency and calls to the universe. Is there any one final thought you'd like to share?
You are more than meets the world. The
Mm.
power of the universe resides within you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Truly.